Yes, you may begin.
Thank you. This involves case number 2026-CR0024-LHB, charging Jessica Marie Motes with malice murder, felony murder, cruelty to children in the first degree, aggravated battery, concealing the death of another. I will advise the court, because of what representations we had made to the court concerning the possibility of a guilty plea in this case, that as of Friday afternoon, that was the information that we had. But that changed over the weekend, and so I've understood that she's not willing to enter a guilty plea this morning. So it's very important that I put on the record that she has been given an opportunity to enter a plea of guilty before the filing of any notice of intent to seek the death penalty and to receive a sentence with life without the possibility of parole. She's here, she's in court, she's with counsel, Mr. Hammond Law and Mr. Andy Dowdy. And so I'm reiterating on the record that before this proceeding concludes, if she remains willing to do that this morning, if she is willing to or becomes willing to do that this morning, I'm still ready to present that. However, in the meantime, we had scheduled through the cooperation of the court this, what was to be the first proceeding in a death penalty case, and I do have a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. And it is as follows, comes now to the state of Georgia by through the District Attorney's Office for the Northeastern Judicial Circuit, hereby filing the state of Georgia's notice of intent to seek the death penalty in the above styled manner pursuant to 17-10-31B2, the offense of murder committed while the defendant was engaged in the commission of an aggravated battery, as alleged in count 4 of this indictment in this case, and pursuant to 17-10-31B7, the offense of murder was outrageously and wantonly vile and inhumane in that it involved torture. I need to make a correction here. And so I'll have that correction be made. Inhumane in that it involved torture, depravity of mind. And if we need to make that change before we formally file it, and an aggravated battery to the victim. So I did notice that typo just now, so we'll make that change and provide copies to the court. So we do intend to seek the death penalty case pursuant to what we will be filing today. And so now, of course, we have scheduled it for a first proceeding as well. Where's my book?
In just a minute, Mr. Dara. Ms. Motes, go ahead and raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you give here to the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, and Ms. Motes, you're seated next to your attorneys, Mr. Law and Mr. Dowdy, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you heard Mr. Dara state that an offer was made in regards to closing the case with a guilty plea today, resulting in a sentence of life without parole. And in the event that the offer was not accepted this morning, so now we've reached that time, that the state would be offering or would be filing their notice of intention to seek the death penalty. Did you hear all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're choosing to reject the offer knowing that the state is going to be filing a notice of intent to present, or a notice of intent to seek the death penalty.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had enough time to discuss that with your attorneys in making that decision? Understanding it's a very large one.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and so, Mr. Dara, based upon the announcement that you're going to be filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty, this circuit has a procedure in which another judge may be selected to preside over the death penalty case. And we have copies of that order and that procedure that we'll provide to both the state and defense as well as, out of an abundance of caution, a copy of the Unified Appeal Procedure. Emily, if you want to give those out.
And the Unified Appeal Procedure was said should be followed beginning on January 15, 2026. So I assume that what you're handing out is the very newest one.
It was printed this morning from the Georgia Supreme Court website with the addition that there were modifications made as of January 15th of 2026. And so in a first proceeding, normally the court would go through a number of different matters. I'm just going to hit a few of them. And then, quite frankly, once the selection of the judge for the death penalty case is assigned, allow them to handle another first proceeding. But given the fact that I may not be presiding over the death penalty case, allow whichever judge assigned the case to handle their own first proceeding.
Yes, ma'am.
I do want to put a few things on the record. Mr. Law and Mr. Dowdy, you're both retained, is that correct?
Yes.
And you've been provided a copy of the Unified Appeal Procedure updated January 15th of 2026.
Yes, Judge.
And is it your intent to remain as counsel after the notice of intent to seek the death penalty is filed?
Judge, all I can say is we're currently counsel. We are not withdrawing as counsel. That's all I can say at this time.
And Mr. Law, you've already filed for discovery under 1716-1, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And may I state that we have provided discovery to counsel, and counsel has represented it to me, and I believe it to be true, has thoroughly reviewed the discovery provided, included primarily the GBI investigation report involved in this case.
Judge, the only thing I would add to that is that they've been forthcoming with what they could turn over to me. And since you may not be the judge on the death penalty case, I just am pointing out there could be some delay because we do not have a copy of the autopsy, and we're told by the district attorney's office it may not be ready for anywhere from 4, 5, or 6 months. And I imagine that will precipitate experts and that kind of thing. And I just want the court to know that in discussing it with anybody about scheduling it.
And, sorry, go ahead, Mr. Dare.
And I will further make what efforts I can to have that expedited. I'm not sure of the time frame myself, but hopefully we can get that expedited in a shorter period of time.
And so, Mr. Dare, do you want anything else addressed today based upon your announcement that you'll need to provide copies of your notice to myself as well as to Judge Deal, the chief judge of the circuit, so that he can schedule an opportunity to select the new judge assigned to this death penalty matter, and that I'll allow that judge to have their own first proceeding, so they know their own schedule. I can't issue any scheduling orders at this point based upon the fact that I may not be the one presiding over the case.
Under those circumstances, it's probably best to hold the additional first proceeding before the assigned judge and before the arraignment, et cetera, as provided for in the Unified Appeal Procedure.
And Mr. Law, do you feel that you need, or Mr. Dowdy, do you feel you need any other matters addressed today? Just we'll use today as a status hearing only.
No, Your Honor.
All right, then that will conclude the matter in the Motes case. And Mr. Dara, we'll look forward to seeing your notice of intent to seek the death penalty.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Filing it today. Thank you.
You're excused.